Hello, hello. I think I got it to work now. Those that aren't aware, I've been having so many connection issues with my stream. It's just hot mess right now. Hot mess. But I think this should get it to work. Oh my. I honestly think, now that I'm thinking about it, that it is I think I just need a new router. I think my router is just not, I think my router is just kind of garbage. Based on what I'm seeing right now and the bit rates that I'm getting right now, is just, it's got to be my router. I shall figure that out. But for now, we're going to continue on. I having just trying to find the video. Good, have an easier time just doing this. Here we go.
I'll let you watch my video dedicated to that. Also on top of pivots, I like to bake a normalized top-down gradient in Y in an extra UV map. That's always super useful. And I also usually bake a pseudo-random 0 to 1 value in X per grass card. That let me randomize some things in engine per card, like offset the window animation, but more on that later. If you do that though, you must make sure all LODs share that same value, right? Now it's always a great idea to mess with normals when it comes to foliage, especially when it's stylized in some way, but here I actually don't care. I will handle normals in the shader directly in it.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Hello. I'm tired today. Oof. I'm feeling it today. So this is where we have left off. And ooh, let's see. Just so I do this because I do this every single time. The project that I'm working on, the concept art is by the wonderful Laura Besson. I believe that's how you say it. I don't speak French, so I don't know actually how to pronounce it. Doing the best that I can, but this is it. The concept art. That is the. Here's that. The camera needs to be worked on just a little bit. The angle, as you can kind of see right here. There's the camera. There's the concept art, and there's what I've got. Working on it. It's still work in progress. Yeah. So, with that being said, we're gonna be following along to finish up some the grass stuff, stylized grass that I've got going. It's a video by again, he is also French, and I cannot say his name. Ghislain Giraudeau. That's I don't Ghislain Giraudeau. Yeah. Has some excellent stuff. Very detailed. Very well put together. Great stuff. But yeah. Happy to be using their There's a bit of a flashbang. Sorry about that. So mixing them is apparently a bit of an issue. Is it because it's an emissive? Is that why? I'm assuming that it has to be the way that you set up the line art volume. Okay, we're not even focusing on the line art stuff right now. We're focusing on the grass. This is how bad I don't want to do the grass. Oh. All right. A little bit. Okay.
Engine so they can remain unmodified. And voila, that grass mesh and its LODs are ready to be exported. However, I actually didn't render any texture yet, so let's do that real quick. A simple white material will do just fine for the opacity. I can use world normals remap like so to render a normal map. Then using texture coordinates, I can render a root to tip gradient and an edge gradient. Then I can also render a random grayscale value per grass blade, a height map, possibly, why not, and then combine all those maps into RGB mask textures. Using those gradients and masks, I then can create cheap specular and roughness textures, just to highlight that center line a bit. For the color, I'm actually not going to use a texture per se. Well, I'm going to use one, but it's what I call a splat map, that I'm going to project over the world across a large distance to create patterns of varying colors and add a bit of randomness to the landscape. To create that splat map,
Alright, so we're gonna use, do I have... do. Okay, he uses...
personally like to use Krita because it has some cool painterly looking brushes, and its warp mode let me create tiling textures super easily, and really
Alright, and I'm pretty sure this has a... I also have Krita. Looks like we're gonna use Krita. Krita it is. Big file. New.
brushes, and its warp mode let me create tiling textures super easily.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to be in Krita. Here, let's see. Where's Krita? Krita. Probably don't have a... Oh boy. Oh. Why? So strange. Oh. What's happening? What is going on? Okay. Close that. Open. New. Why? I feel like everything is just hating me right now. Why is this just not working? All right. There we go. Okie doke. So I'm going to use this color.
And we
Yeah. We'll probably do something like this in this color range. Yeah, something right there. What about there? A little warmer. Brighter, I guess. Okay. Just looking for the right brush. that little bit of opacity in here.
Really here it's just a matter of using the right colors, brushes and values to create some painterly looking patterns. Cool, finally I have the render as
Yeah, I like it. All right, go back here, switch this off. I'm gonna export this. File save. This is actually, we're not going to save this here. We're going to save this to file folder that I have. That's I'm gonna name this. What should we name this? Ground grass floor. All right, file port. Just a PNG. I know Targa is technically industry standard, but you know, do grass. For and do T. Okay. Alrighty. Now we're gonna go back into
sort of distance with texture, which can come handy. I'll explain why in a minute. Essentially, this is a bidirectional gradient, meaning it not only goes from that center line to the edges, but also from root to tip. And to create it, I duplicate those meshes, flatten them, and using the shear tool, I can create a slope on that center line, and voila. There's a slope from root to tip, but also a slope from that center line to the edges. And using a carefully scaled bounding box to derive the coordinates, I can render that gradient map. Nice, and then it's rinse and repeat for plants and flowers. For those assets, my workflow is essentially the same. The only difference here is that I probably want to use a specific color texture rather than rely on a splat map. So I use the texture painting mode to paint those meshes and quite easily render a diffuse texture.
How has this been kept a secret for so long?
Being forced to see ads? Getting paid to see ads? Do you know how? No.
Alright, time to import that grass mesh. Turn off generate collision and light map, make sure combine meshes is turned on, and I will create a material myself, so I will turn that off. Then right click on that mesh and choose add LOD1, import it, and do the same for LOD2. Cool, save it and open it. Here I'm going to add 2 material slots because I will probably want to apply a different, ideally cheaper material on those LODs. So select LOD1, assign it its corresponding material slot like so, and do the same for LOD2. Then I'm going to turn off shadow casting and collision for them all, and also make sure the default collision mode down there is correctly set up, because why not? Now, shadow casting grass sounds cool, but it's most often frowned upon. Shadow maps usually lack resolution to render decent shadows for very small and detailed assets like grass, and it's immensely expensive to render all those grass instances for each cascaded shadow map, so the cost is certainly quite high and the visual benefit is debatable. You may want to use screen space contact shadows though, it comes at a fixed cost based on the viewport resolution and contact shadow length, so it's kinda ideal for grass. But then it's a bit noisy, and usually for stylized grass at least, the general consensus is that non-shadow casting grass can look a bit more subtle and easy on the eye, so it's usually preferred, but you might disagree. Anyway, I also want to customize LOD distance for LOD 1 and 2. I'm going to eyeball those settings for now, but I will fine-tune them later on once I've grass instantiated on a landscape.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to import all of the assets because I need to do, I'm feeling very stuck. So I need to import all of the assets. Just because I'm feeling very like, I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just be honest. With this specifically, I'm lost. So let's just import all of the assets into Unreal. So first let's export the grass meshes. Here, close this, export the grass mesh. Export the grass mesh. I'm exporting the grass mesh. There we go. So before we get there, so we're just doing 2 LODs. So I've got 2 separate LODs. Perfect. Okay. Let me guess for. Okay, apparently that dropped down at some point. To snap to a grid. We're going to do the, is there like exact? I know that there is a. Snap to grid. that is good enough for now. Yeah, we're gonna go with that for now. All right, we've only got 2 LODs. We're only using this little bit, this little patch right here. I'm also going to bring this one. Nope. It's about good. All right, I'm gonna go with this for now. I think this looks good enough for what we're after. I need to get this grass into the thing. So, right. So I'm gonna take all of these grass cards. Okay. I'm going to take all of the LOD0 grass cards and export those as one LOD0. Make sure that those are all the nice looking ones. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't have an LOD. Let's delete this one. Sneaky, sneaky. I gotta double check all these have both LODs in them. Hello. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. That works. All right. So now we can just do all the LOD zeros. And we're going to export these LODs. Correct? Yes. So the other thing, I know I didn't do this, but I'm doing this so that I can get some progress and movement into Unreal. So this is done. So then let's go ahead and, oops. All right. Now, that this is LOD uno. Primerito grass LOD 1. Port. Okay. I know that I will have to do the UVs and the texturing for this. I'm just wanting to do something in Unreal, moving this into Unreal because, you know, it's no, I keep doing this. I keep moving this without realizing that it's still attached to the camera. All right, this is close, you know. Content, materials. Why am I okay? My brain, all my brain wants to do is the materials. Okay, I gotta focus. All right. I just want to lock this in place. There's got to be a way I can lock this in, no? Okay. I know there's a way to lock in like the camera, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. All right. So next we're gonna go to close this out. This. We're going to turn off this for now. Try for the flashbang. The other thing we're going to do is we're also going to add into textures. So content textures. Port. Textures. Nope. I want this. Landscape. Is there a nope. Okay. Interesting. Where's this technically being stored? What is this? What is this? With tilt. You know, I wish I might be a smarter human tonight. Okay. A blend. Neural profile. This class represents an asset that stores a neural network model data and the conversion form. Okay. Out of it. Shade. It's automatic. Made it. Out.
Must be some kind of phase I'm going through. I can't reach higher. I trace these lines wearing down on my face. What's wrong with you?
So why can't I?
What's wrong with you?
Did I accidentally delete the material? Oh, floor, right there. Oh, oops. It's not what I meant to do. I think I just broke my computer. Okay. Breaking Unreal. Stop. That's features. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna delete the whole thing, start all over. Escape. To that. Bye-bye. I'm pretty sure I can just yeah, it's right there. Very green. So what I might do now instead is okay. A little better. I like it. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make this disappear, and then we're going to add a new landscape. We're going to give it that floor color. We're going to make it 100 by 100. 50 by 50. Five. Yeah. Um. Gotta give it a second. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, maybe. I don't think it should be this slow running. Okay, we're just gonna leave this for now. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I do know what's happening, but I don't want to fix it right now. This is just taking forever. So what we're gonna do instead is do one of these. Um. This should not take very long. Let's try this. If this doesn't work, then I will stop. I don't know why the paint layer is so, it's like not doing what I wanted to do. Because I don't, here's the thing, I really don't want to create a, like, craft this perfect, like, I don't want to craft like this really nice landscape to then have to not be able to place the material on it, you know? It's saying I'm dropping frames when I'm not. I can see the stream and it's saying not well. See the stream. Hello. All right. Interesting. Sure. Why not? know I'm doing something wrong here because this should not be this slow. I was doing this before. This was like super easy. Okay. Come on, please, just up, 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 up. Okay. Okay, I know that there's a better way to do this because I did it earlier and I'm not doing anything here that is so intensive that it's gonna cause this many issues. There. Better. This. just tippy tap. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. We're gonna end that. I'm supposed to be doing grass. Technically, I am technically doing grass right now. All right, let's get back to the grass, the actual grass part of the grass. Let's get here. Environment. Port. Static mesh, both LOD 1 and 2. Going to create new, do not create materials. Let's listen to what he has to say.
the Vinstead region, so on, and I will create a material myself, so I will... Alright, time to import that grass mesh. Turn off generate collision and light map, make sure combine meshes. Alright, time to import that grass mesh. Turn off generate collision and light
Turn off generate
map,
collision
make sure...
and light map. Okie doke.
combine meshes is turned on, and I will...
Combine meshes. Interesting. Interesting. Put on. Okay.
create a material myself, so I will turn that off. Then right click on that mesh and choose add LOD1, import it, and do the same for LOD2.
Ah, okay. So let's cancel this. Re-import. Import. LOD0. Open. No generate collisions. No generate light map. Combine meshes. Import. Okay. Great. In here now. And then he said, oh man, my memory's terrible. What did he say?
LOD1, import self, so I will turn that off. Then right click on that mesh and choose
then
add LOD1.
Level of detail. That's what I thought. We go LOD, level of detail, import, add LOD1. Okay.
Import it and do the same for LOD2.
Alright.
Cool, save it and open it. Here I'm going to add two
Here. Save. Open. It's fascinating. This is the first time I'm working with LODs, so it's interesting. Cool. All right, go on.
material slots because I will probably want to apply a different, ideally cheaper material on two material slots because
Okie doke.
You will probably want to apply a different, ideally cheaper material on those LODs. So select LOD 1, assign it its corresponding material slot like so, and do the same for LOD 2.
Songs I used to sing play on the radio. The catchy choruses are all I know. I used to.
Then I'm going to turn off shadow casting and collision for them all, and also make sure the default collision mode down there is correctly set.
There's not much to say. Silently it creeps up closer. Find myself alone. Quietly I shut the doors in fear of what's unknown. All I do is breathe, sink into the emptiness. Orange summer breeze, the unlived experience. All I do is
Setup because collision for them all, and also make sure the default collision mode down there is correctly set up, because why not? Now shadow casting grass sounds cool, but it's most often frowned upon. Shadow maps usually lack resolution to render decent shadows for very small and detailed assets like grass, and it's immensely expensive to render all those grass instances for each cascaded shadow map, so the cost is certainly quite high and the visual benefit is debatable. You may want to use screen space contact shadows though. It comes at a fixed cost based on the viewport resolution and contact shadow length, so it's kinda ideal for grass. But then it's a bit noisy, and usually for stylized grass at least, the general consensus is that non-shadow casting grass can look a bit more subtle and easy on the eye, so it's usually preferred, but you might disagree. Anyway, I also want to customize LOD distance for LOD.
LOD this. So 0.
LOD 1 and 2. I'm going to eyeball those settings for now.
What? Setting. That's a good distance.
But I will fine-tune them later on once I've grass instantiated on a landscape and I can have a better grasp on what that screen percentage actually translates to in-game, right? Also, don't forget to use this debug view, which is super useful to fine-tune LODs.
Ooh,
Then I'm
interesting.
going to create a material and make 3 instances of it. One for LOD 0, LOD 1, and 2, and assign them here. Sweet! Last step is to import the grass textures, but that's straightforward enough. Just make sure RGB mask textures are set to well mask, and linear grayscale textures are also set to grayscale linear. And that's it for the base setup. Unreal Engine offers many ways to instantiate foliage. The foliage tool is one, obviously. I can just drag that mesh here and then paint instances on any mesh that has collision enabled, including landscapes. It's quite straightforward. There are a few settings you might want to tweak here, but that's pretty much it. UE also comes with a complex procedural foliage tool with a bunch of rules to customize how assets can grow and also influence the growth of nearby assets and replicate lifelike behaviors. It's quite neat, but it's probably a bit much for most use cases, but feel free to take a look at it. A custom blueprint could also be used to, say, do a couple of vertical line traces here and there to find a valid ground and add instances to an instance static mesh component.
Ooh.
This is quite a manual approach. It's not as straightforward as the foliage tool, for instance, and it has its limitations for sure, but it has its benefits as well, like really allowing you to build your own custom solution. Performance is going to be a concern though if you really need to process thousands and thousands of instances, so C++ might be the way to go to build proper custom tools. Also with UE 5.2 there's a new set of procedural tools that promise to do just that with node-based graphs, so that's really exciting. In this video, however, I'm going to focus on another solution, which is to instantiate grass using the landscape. So first I obviously need some kind of landscape, right, and have a material assigned to it. Then I need to create a landscape grass type asset, right?
Oh, he
and have a
explains how the
material assigned
landscape
to it.
works.
Then I need to create a need some kind of landscape, right? And have a material assigned to it. Then I need to create a landscape grass type asset. Then add the grass mesh I just imported on any other, could be grass, flowers, trees, whatever.
Oh, so you just need to know what material that you're using, assign it, and then go from there. Yeah.
And here I'm just going to tweak the density to begin with. In that landscape material, I can then add a grass output node and select the grass type asset I just created. A value of 1 is going to instantiate those foliage assets across the whole entire landscape, and 0 none. Instead of using a constant value though, I could choose to control where the grass is spawned using a landscape layer. So I'm going to create a landscape layer blend node with 2 layers, one named grass, one named dirt, and change the dirt layer blend type to hide blend. For now I'm not worried at all about the look, right? So say grass is still going to be that middle gray and dirt a darker gray. Hide dirt for now is going to be 05, but I'll use a texture later on. And then I'm going to sample that grass layer and plug that in the grass output node. Now I may need to reassign that material so those newly created landscape layers are detected by the landscape tool, and then assign a weight blended layer asset to each layer. If I then paint some dirt, you can see that grass instances disappear. Now it's based on a certain threshold value, right? It either spawns an instance or it doesn't, so it's not perfect, but I'll show some techniques to improve this in a minute. Although you might have picked up on the grass disappearing in the distance, and that's due to the start and end call distance setting you can tweak in the grass type, but I'll come back to that later on. It will play a huge role in keeping things performant, and I'm going to do a few bizarre things with this grass type asset as well. Alright, to keep the video somewhat short, I went ahead and worked a bit on the landscape material. As usual, I'd highly suggest working with material attributes, that way you...
Okay. We're gonna go back a little bit. I just wanted to see what we needed to do, and then...
Then I'm going to create a material and make 3 instances of it. One.
Alright. Save this. Go to materials.
For LOD 0, LOD D1 and 2, and assign them here.
Yeah, eyes closed and slowly fall.
Here, sweet. Last step is to import the grass
All over me
textures, but that
was alone in bed with all these thoughts.
straightforward enough. Just make sure RGB mask textures are set to well mask, and linear grayscale textures are also set to grayscale linear. And that's it for the base setup.
Could reach out right now and save my life somehow. The sun again as soon as this dreary night. All right. So I'm gonna need to make I don't mistake. Overcome. Here, I remember last year. Alone in bed. All to myself. But flashbang. Sorry. Sure. I'll face the sun again as soon as this dreamy. Say dreary. Dream.
Unreal Engine offers many ways to instantiate foliage. The foliage tool is one, obviously. I can just drag that mesh here and then paint instances on any mesh that has collision enabled, including landscape.
Okay, let's just go really simple since I'm not doing anything major with this. Let's go. Let's do. Okay, let's do something. Here, foliage.
Mesh here and then paint instances on any mesh that has collision enabled, including landscapes. It's quite straightforward. There are a few settings you might want to tweak here, but that's pretty much it. You will also Comes with a complex procedural foliage tool with a bunch of rules to customize how assets can grow and also influence the growth of nearby assets and replicate lifelike behaviors. It's quite neat, but it's probably a bit much for most use cases, but feel free to take a look at it. A custom blueprint could also be used to, say, do a couple of vertical line traces here and there to find a valid ground and add instances to an instant static mesh component. This is quite a manual approach, it's not as straightforward as the foliage tool for instance, and it has its limitations for sure, but it has its benefits as well, like really allowing you to build your own custom solution. Performance is going to be a concern though if you really need to process thousands and thousands of instances, so C++ might be the way to go to build proper custom tools. Also with UE 5.2 there's a new set of procedural tools that promise to do just that with node-based graphs, so that's really exciting. In this video, however, I'm going to focus on another solution, which is to instantiate grass using the landscape. So first I obviously need some kind of landscape, right, and have a material assigned to it. Then I need to create a landscape grass type asset, then add the grass mesh I just imported, and any other, could be grass, flowers, trees, whatever, and here I'm just going to tweak the density to begin with. In that landscape material I can then add a grass output.
Interesting. Okay. Let's delete that.
On any other could be grass type asset, then add the grass mesh I just imported. On any landscape grass type asset, then have a material assigned to it. Then I need to create a landscape grass type asset. And have a material assigned to it. Then I need to create a landscape grass type asset. Then add the grass mesh. I just imported on any user. There could be grass, flowers, trees, whatever. And here I'm just going to tweak the density to begin with. In that landscape material I can then add a grass output node. Tweak the density to begin with. In that landscape material I can then add a grass output node. Going to focus on another solution,
When did he
which is
create
to
that landscape
instantiate grass
material?
using the landscape. So first I obviously need some kind of landscape, right, and have a material assigned to it. So first I obviously need some kind of landscape, right, and have a
So you need to create a landscape prior to, okay. Right there, right? So we're calling it. Yeah, I already have the landscape material. Right? Yeah, I do. Materials. Yeah, and floor color. Okay.
Material assigned to it. Then I need to create a landscape grass type asset. Then add the grass mesh I just
To be safe, what I'm going to do, well, even though I just redid this, here, delete. It is M4 color. Okay, good. Some PS2 LODs. Look at this. PS2.
imported, and any other could be grass, flowers, trees, whatever. And here I'm just going to
Right, that's right. We're gonna go into the
tweak the
material
density
for color.
to begin with. In that landscape material, I can then add a grass output node and select the grass type asset I just created. I can then add a grass output node.
Grass. Landscape grass output. Interesting.
And select the grass type asset I just created. I can then add a grass output node
Landscape grass output.
and select the grass type asset I just created. A value of 1 is going to instantiate those foliage assets across the whole entire landscape, and 0, none. Instantiate those foliage assets across
Interesting. This is crazy. This is like very, very interesting. I am like so just like mind blown by all of this. It's so, all of this is so cool. It's like, it's like a literal magic. I can create the world, any of the worlds that I want. Pretty neat, not gonna lie.
The whole entire landscape, and 0, none. Instead of using a constant value though, I could choose to control where the grass is spawned using a landscape
Where is grass data? Okay. I'm gonna make this 50. Save. Increase. Make it even more. $70. That is.
layer. So I'm going to create a landscape layer blend node. With 2 layers, one named grass, one
Grass, one named grass. Other named dirt. Tierra.
named dirt, and change the dirt layer blend type to hide blend.
Hide.
For now, I'm not worried at all about the look, right? So say grass is still going to be that.
Add another layer.
Middle gray and dirt a darker gray. Hide dirt. For now it's going to be 05, but I'll use a texture later on. And then I'm going to sample that grass.
This I might need, but we'll see.
Layer and plug that in the grass. I'll use a texture later on. And then I'm going to sample that grass layer. And those newly created landscape layers are detected by the landscape. No, it's not paste. And assign those newly created landscape layers are detected. And then I'm going to sample that grass layer and plug that 05, but I'll use a texture later on. And then I'm going to sample that grass layer and plug that in the grass output node.
Grass.
Now I may need to assign that material so those newly created landscape layers are detected by the landscape tool, and then assign a weight blended layer asset to each layer.
Okay.
May need to reassign that material, so those new newly created landscape layers are detected by the landscape tool, and
Interesting.
then assign a weight blended layer asset to each.
So yeah, see, I should be able to change settings in here. When I select something like this, I should be able to see it here. How come I can't? I can only see the camera actor. Like I should be able to see.
Detected by the landscape tool, and the material, so those newly created landscape layers are detected by the landscape tool, and then assign a weight blended layer asset to each, detected by the landscape tool, and then assign a weight. Newly created landscape layers are detected by the landscape tool, and then assign a weight blended
Landscape material. I should. This is insane. I think. Windows. Yeah. Okay. Why is this working now? It's driving me insane. Tell me why. Tell me. Oh, did I type something in here? Maybe. Okay, maybe that might be it. It might have been just, or it could have been bugged. Who knows? Actually, speaking of bugged, let me hit it. Let me hit everything up. I always feel I can smell a crash coming.
layer asset to each layer. Assign a weight blended layer.
Do I even have something called that? Should be able to just drop it if I do.
Asset to each layer did by the landscape tool, and then assign a weight blended layer asset to each layer. If I then paint some dirt, you can see that grass instances disappear. Now it's based on a certain threshold value, right? It either spawns an instance or it
No
doesn't.
entiendo.
So it's not
Yes,
perfect, but I'll show some techniques to improve this in a minute. An
You're
instance
this is
disappear. Now
this
it's
is-
based on a. If I then paint some dirt, layer asset are detected by the landscape tool, and then assign a weight blended layer asset to each layer. If I then paint some dirt, you can see that grass instances disappear. Now it's based on a certain threshold value, right? It either spawns an instance or it doesn't. So it's not perfect, but I'll show some techniques to improve this in a minute. Also, this disappear. Now if I then paint blended layer asset to each layer. If I then paint some dirt, you can see that grass instances disappear. Now
back. Okay, buddy. Awaken this. Hello. So the thing that I'm getting is I need to make these smaller. Yes, make it smaller. That's pretty important. Individual origins. Make those smaller. Touch it out. Yep. And then I need to do this the re-import. Cool. That makes sense. Alright, so these should be about the same. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'm like so close to this being. It's like there's a couple little tweaks that I have to make, and it's just so close. But it's midnight. This is one of those times where I feel like I bit off more than I could chew, and I'm only a third of the way through this video. It's an hour long.
So it's based on a certain threshold value, right? It either spawns an instance or it doesn't.
So the other issue that I'm having is that this, it's not. The landscape needs to be a little bit higher density. Yeah. So I'll probably have to just remake the landscape again, do everything I just did, and then go from there. Oh, that's so sad. Shortage. Shortage. All right. Well, I am liking the way this is looking. I just need to find out a way of how to combine the shaders. Finish the materials on the grass. And that should be it. Because I want to be able to. Yeah, so technically this should be shining through. All right, I need to go to sleep because I'm like doing what I shouldn't be doing. All right, this. I mean, it's very pretty. And then add movement to it. I'm gonna add movement to it to make it look nice and, you know, blowy, like blowing in the wind a little bit. Oof, you know. Right now it looks kind of just bleh, but once movement gets added, I think it'll be it. It'll be it. I think I do want to look at before I go back is materials. Why is this shaking? It's like jittering. Not jittering here. It's like major jittering here. Okay, let's go here, up here, here, yeah, here.
Must be some kind of phase I'm going through. Your eyes look tired. I draw those lines scrabbled over my face. What's wrong with you? Where's that desire to shove and climb an incandescent path? You made it
In
inky
black.
black, trying to make the best out of this.
Prismatic,
My mode is
prismatic.
an incandescent path, melting into black, trying to make the best out of Must be some kind of phase I'm going through. I can't reach higher. I trace these lines wearing down on my face. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
My gosh. So there is something happening inside of the shader that I'm in that's making this look all wacky. So then if I add a different process poly. Add another reference. Cell, right? Because so the issue I think is that this is an emission. This one right here is an emission. And so it's essentially, it's like it's pretending that we're in unshaded. Kind of. Not really, but. The cell shader is fine. It's the line shader that's creating the issue. Okay. Now, why would it be? There it is. Translucency. It's translucency after DOF. Ooh, okay. What's going on? I'm being blinded. Ah. Oh, you merely adopted the light. Okay. However, it's gonna change the lighting of it all. Just some wackiness. Let's change this light significantly less bright. Let's go. Yeah. Let's change this up back to the Whoa. Some wild stuff. What is happening here? Ah. Okay, let's go to this post-process volume. We're gonna go into. We're just gonna reduce the bloom or reduce the exposure. No. Pollution. Directional light is what we're gonna change to 5,000. Uh, 3,000. 500. Five. 1. Does it even need the directional light? Yes, if I want the, let's go 5,000. this doesn't make sense as to why it's vibrating. So I'm gonna have to restart this whole thing in a new map. Okay, that's fine. Because the other ones weren't vibrating and these ones are. I'm not sure what I did in the original, in this original seems to be that the flicker is when it's 2 lines. Okay. All right. Well, I figured a lot of things out. The grass is like 50% there. I just need the texturing. I need to make the materials and the textures. And then, yeah. I've got the colors to come through. I've sort of figured out the I've combining the. Not fully, but we're getting there. That's the important part. It's past midnight, 12:30. I need to go to sleep. I'm so tired. All right. As usual, thank you so much for watching. This has been a fun time. I'm learning a lot. I started to get really hyper focused there in a second, but I need to stop myself. Otherwise, I will just keep going and not stop. As per usual, thank you so much for watching. This has just been a ton of fun. And I'm glad you can come along and join. Even though there's nobody watching. Thank you for time and all that, you know. I'll see you next time. Peace.